Right, so we're doing the daily transfer news. I've got all the transfer news surrounding Manchester United today. Got other news to go. Right, so let's get started. My first news story I'm going to bring to you is about Alaba. David Alaba has announced that he will leave Bayern Munich at the end of the season, but he says he has not decided which club he will join. The Austrian defender has been linked with a number of clubs, and transfer specialist Fabrizio Romano, so it's an A-class, top-tier journalist, is reporting that Real Madrid are in pole position ahead of Liverpool and Chelsea. Alaba quoted, "I have personally made the decision to try something new after this season and to leave the club. It wasn't an easy decision. I've been here for 13 years and the club is very important to me. I have not decided yet where I'm going." So realistically, he's going to go to Real Madrid, but there's always the possibility that we could slide in to get a deal. I think with David Alaba, he's always said that his dream is to go to Real Madrid, but I think if the Premier League club offers the right amount of money, he could be persuaded to join. So I think that is a story to follow very closely in the coming weeks to see. I think I believe he has done a formal agreement with Real Madrid, but that's never concrete. So it's going to be interesting to see. Following on from that story, I've got a story to bring you about Sergio Ramos. So Manchester United are one of the 3 teams to have shown interest in signing Real Madrid defender Sergio Ramos, according to reports. Ramos is out of contract at Real Madrid in the summer, and the 34-year-old's future has been a subject of intense speculation over the past few months. Now, Spanish outlet Sport via Sport Witness report that Real President Florentino Perez quotes, "neither can nor wants to meet the centre-back's €12 million salary demands. Sport believes, therefore, that everything points to PSG, City or Manchester United. The 3 teams have shown in some interest. I think, once again, that's a story to look at very closely. I think PSG are going to be the leaders in that race, but once again, if we offer the right amount of money, he will come to us. Do I want Ramos? I'll take him, but I would rather a Koundé. But I think with Sergio Ramos, you know what you're getting. He's an experienced centre back. He's done it. He's done it at all the stages. He's a world class centre back. He's been at he's won everything really. So you know what you're getting with him. And what it'll also do, it'll be great for players like Tuanzebe, Mengi, all of the younger defenders to watch him play. So I think with Ramos, he could have a sort of an effect that Cavani had on the younger defenders. So that's an interesting one to watch. Following on from that, we've got a story about Eduardo Camavinga, and it's that we are reportedly leading the race to sign Rennes midfielder Eduardo Camavinga. That's according to, excuse me if I don't pronounce this right, Fijaget, who report that the club seems to have the lead when it comes to signing the 18-year-old France international this summer. However, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are both reportedly interested in Camavinga, who is widely regarded as one of the best young talents in Europe. I think this would be a great signing because, Camavinga he's another one of those players who's great talent. I think we need to be getting more of these players, because that's going to be the project, isn't it? Well, we're going to need to get more young players, aren't we? Because to be able to keep it going, we need more young players to sustain this project. And Camavinga would be part of that, I believe. So yeah, well, that's a very interesting story, and it's once again, it's one to look at closely. I think in the summer and the next few months, we'll be hearing more about it. Following on from that, we've got a story about Lens central defender from the Argentinian defender Facundo Medina. And it's that Man United will face competition from AC Milan if they do try to pursue a move for him in the summer, according to reports. The 21-year-old has impressed in Ligue 1 this season after joining Lens from Argentine side Talleres last summer. Calcio Mercato are reporting that Milan are weighing up a move for Medina and see him as a potential replacement for Alessio Romagnoli. Sorry about that pronunciation. United have previously been linked with Medina by French outlet RMC Sport. Would I like Medina? I think he's a bit like a Rojo. He is fast. I wouldn't mind him if it comes to. I wouldn't mind him as a squad rotational player. I don't know if I'd want him as a first team centre back. He's not. I don't think he's at that level yet, but I think he could get to that level. Time will tell with Facundo Medina. That's a really interesting story. We've been linked with him in the past. Time will tell on that deal. I've got a story now which I know a lot of the United fans here will not like, and it's a story. It's just come out from a story from 2015 that United tried to sign Deo Upamecano when he was 16 at Valenciennes, according to the defender's advisor. Upamecano is now obviously set to join Bayern Munich from RB Leipzig in the summer, but had things worked out differently in 2015, he could have been a United player. Upamecano's advisor said an intermediary met with us, but there was a difference between the project she presented us and what was actually going to happen. Upamecano's advisor Thierry Martinez told SoFoot. A flat was promised, but then changed to a host family with only 6 return trips for his parents. When you uproot a player at such a young age, that isn't enough. I wanted to do that emotional balance of it. So once again, this ownership, this board has been shown to be very incompetent. We had the chance when Upamecano was 16 to get him, and imagine now, we had the chance to get him in 2015, but we didn't, and now he's going to Bayern. So I think, but this happens all the time. We could have got Alphonso Davies when he was at Vancouver Whitecaps. There was multiple reports. Our scouting network had been reporting about Alphonso Davies for years. Along with him, Christian Pulisic. Our scouting network was reporting for years about Christian Pulisic. But the problem is, this board is so incompetent, it doesn't trust the bloody scouting network. And we've got one of the best scouting networks in the world. So, I don't know. It's a very interesting one. And once again, it's highlighted the incompetency of this board and the need for a sporting director. Those sort of transfers shouldn't be, because I what I see? I see with that the Moises Caicedo deal, what fell through. That is, people say, oh, it's just Moises Caicedo, but once again, he might not make it. He might not do well. But if he does, imagine in 5 years, once again, we could have a player I don't know, he could be anywhere, going to another big club, and we'll be saying, oh, we could have got him. So it's annoying one. It's a very annoying one. Right. The next story I've got to bring you is about David Carmo from Braga in Liga NOS. Portuguese club Braga are well aware of United interest to sign David Carmo this summer, according to reports. AS report on Real Madrid's own interest in the 21-year-old defender, but also cite news of rival admiration from United. They say Braga are well aware of the reports and could look to cash in this summer. Well, once again, he's 21. I'd say there's another good deal. You know, it'd be great if we could get one of these and a Sergio Ramos. That would be quite good, because then you've got someone who's not at that level yet, but he can get to that level, and someone who's been there. He's been there, done it, and he can. I don't think for these players to go and join. I'm sorry, but Maguire just doesn't have the experience that Ramos does. So, in some sense, Ramos would be good, as well as another defender, another centre back to edge them on. Yeah. Then there's lots of stories coming out this morning. I've got a story to bring you about Jules Koundé. United are prepared to spend 60 million in order to sign Jules Koundé this summer, according to reports. Spanish outlet La Razón named United as the favourites to sign the Sevilla centre-back, but reiterate rival interest from Real Madrid. I think it's an we talked about this one on the previous transfer shows. Obviously, Sevilla have upped the price tag. Do I think we'll get him? All depends on whether or not. I don't think he'll be going to Real Madrid, because if Alaba goes to Real Madrid, that's going to take a massive part of their wage bill. But I do not think if it goes to that price tag, we'll be able to pay for it. So, we will be able to pay for it. So that whether or not the board will be competent enough to get that deal through. So, if it's 60 million pounds, we could do it. I would take Koundé and a CDM from this window. Yeah, but the thing is, there's not many CDMs in this window. And I tell you what, mate, imagine if we had Moises Caicedo now, because he'd be right into that squad, wouldn't he? He'd be right into it. I'm so annoyed about that deal, because you can say that highlights the incompetency of the board. We needed a CDM. He was there. He was there for £5 million, and we couldn't do it. Zakaria. Yeah, but we'll see if we can get that one through over the line. I don't know. With Zakaria, we've been looking at him for over a year. There's been reports of us looking with him for over a year, so we'll see. I've got to see on that one. But joining on from that, we've got what just tried by... Mate, I can see that happening completely. Caicedo, or could you imagine he goes to City? He goes to City in a few years. Jesus. It's not even because he might flop. Like, let's be real, he might flop, and I think I get that. And if he does flop, all these people are going to be coming out. Oh, what a decision by Woodward! What a decision! Oh, Woodward, he's tactical genius. But in the end of the day, it's pot luck, isn't it? Whether he flops or not. So he's clearly got the talent. Why were we looking at him for months? Like, there must have been a reason why we were looking at him. He's clearly got talent, hasn't he? So, but following on from that story, I've got a story about Nicolo Zaniolo from Roma, the Roma midfielder who's currently injured. We're looking at a potential move for him. The 21-year-old is currently recovering from his second ACL tear, but that hasn't put United or Juventus off a possible move. Libero and Tuto Mercato Web both report interest in the central midfielder, but insist Roma have no plans to sell him. Once again, this would be a great signing for us. He's only 21. However, he's got injury problems, but it's whether you take the risk. He's 21. Would you want to take that risk? I don't know. He's an attacking midfielder as well. We've already got Donny. We've got Donny. We've got Bruno. Do we need 3? Because I don't know. Is he? Maybe if we sell Mata, would he get on the bench? If we sell Lingard as well, maybe. It's an interesting one. I think you should definitely look at it, but don't put too much of don't think about it too much. All right. Well, I've got two more stories to bring you for today. Second to last one is that we are intensely scouting on Andre Silva of Eintracht Frankfurt, the Portuguese forward. The hunt for United's hunt for new number 9 could see them make a move for Andre Silva, according to reports. Sky Germany report United interest in the Portuguese forward and state it would cost around 30 million euros to lure him away from Eintracht Frankfurt at the end of the season. Now, do I think that would be a good deal? I haven't really watched him too much. He's turning 26 this year. He's the same age as Martial, actually. Talking about that, he has got very, very good. He's got very, very good statistics. 20 appearances this season and 18 goals in Bundesliga. And then in the DFB Pokal, he's got in the DFB Pokal he's got 2 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. But in the Bundesliga, he's got more than 1 goal involvement per game. So for 30 million euros, could be a good buy, don't you think? I don't know. It's one to look at. 30 million. I think that'd be. Obviously, there's always going to be the thing whether he'll flop or not. But for 30, it's not too much, is it? That's about £25 million. I mean, we spent 35 million on Ahmad, so I don't see why we can't spend it on a player who's a proven Bundesliga striker at the moment. He's scoring lots of goals. Yes, you can always flop, but I think it's worth the risk for 30 million euros. Following on from that, I've got the last story to bring you, which is a story about well, it's not really transfer related, but it is. Fred is previewing the Real Sociedad clash. He was speaking about the upcoming clash with Real Sociedad in the Europa League to Inside United. He said, "I think it's going to be a great game against Real Sociedad. They've been having a great season in Spain. We know to expect a difficult game, but we're going for the win. We want to win the Europa League. We know how important it is to us, so we'll do our best in the game and have our best season in the Europa League, so we can lift the trophy." I mean, that's a great way to look at it. Hopefully, we get the win. Come on, United! That's all I can say.
In the years he's been at the club, and I don't think he's a particularly modern goalkeeper with the ball.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get the win. Onwards and upwards from here. We got watch along today for Dortmund versus Sevilla. So if you want to tune in for that, that starts at 7:45. We've got a preview coming out for the Sociedad game at 2:00. We've got a show coming out at 4:00 for my weekly Wednesday show with PME. Lots of heated debate in that one. It's going to be a great day full of